Hi, everyone. We're back. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a really good week. I had my new hours today, and last week. So we're doing our new hours. But I've still got my list. I got some interesting things that I want to ask about today. And just remember, everything that I say is alleged. Everything's alleged. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about some interesting stuff. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was this Alex Murdaugh stuff going on. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a court clerk or something that supposedly, I don't know all the details, but supposedly this court clerk was writing a book, or it was supposed to be published. He'd written a book and it was supposed to be published or something. So this court clerk was talking to certain jurors. I don't know if it was all the jurors, but supposedly she was talking to some jurors and, saying to disregard anything from Alex Murdaugh, any body language or anything that they were saying, which is, a huge no-no. Now I'm not an attorney or anything, but I watched a few attorneys and stuff, and according to what all of them are saying, you can't do that. The only thing the court clerk, according to them, the only thing the court clerk can say to any of the jurors is, do you want lunch? The bathrooms are over there, stuff like that. They cannot say anything to any of the jurors regarding the case, the trial at all, nothing. So, apparently this court clerk did, and there were, I believe four jurors that signed a sworn affidavit saying that the court clerk was talking to them and saying this kind of stuff. So it got back to the defense team, and the defense team is now they did a press conference, and supposedly the defense is going to be trying to get a new trial, to call a mistrial, or however that works. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but supposedly they're going to be, I don't know if it's trying to get this called a mistrial, get the ruling thrown out, whatever the right terminology is for that. So I wanted to ask some questions about this whole situation. There's a couple of different questions that I wanted to ask on this, but firstly, I wanted to ask if, I guess, the defense team will be granted a new trial, if Alex Murdaugh will be granted a new trial. So that's the first thing I want to ask. So let's ask that. And I'm not even sure who would grant it. I don't know if it's the judge that presided over the original trial, or if it's another judge. I'm not really sure. But let's ask if Alex Murdaugh will be granted a new trial. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's see. Well, it looks like there's going to be more information that comes out too. I think that either the defense attorneys are going to more information from more jurors, or maybe the jurors that already provided the sworn statements, or maybe there's additional information that they haven't said. Hi, Tangerine, how are you? Happy Friday. So maybe the defense team hasn't released all of, you know, what they have from these jurors. So I think more is coming out. You know, I am getting that there is a possibility that they may be offered a new trial, but it's not going to be an easy decision. And I don't know if, again, I don't know if that's the judge that presided over, you know, the original trial. Hi, Melissa. Happy Friday. I don't know if it's the same judge that will make this ruling, but it looks like there's going to be some conflicting information. Looks like there's going to be some conflicting information. There's also some information that we haven't heard yet. And I think also that the defense hasn't heard yet. So there's still more information to come out about this. I don't know if it's going to be. I think eventually there is a possibility that there may be a new trial, but there's going to have to be more information that's discovered, because right now there's some hidden things. I also remember from the press conference that I saw that the defense attorneys were knocking on jurors' doors, and I don't know what area they live in, but a lot of them wouldn't answer the door and wouldn't speak to them. So there's some stuff that they're really, really trying to get. So the defense attorneys even feel like they don't have the full story. So they're really trying to dig up some stuff. It may be that they may not pursue, you know, what exactly to happen, or it might be that the judge says, you know, let's wait until you get more information. We need to hear from the other jurors, or more, you know, something. I wonder if Buster had some knowledge. On what, Tangerine? And I forget your real name. Oh my God. I did take it down, but we had some more knowledge on what? I can't find your real name. I know you told it to me. Ooh, sorry, I can't remember it. But anyway, I do think that, you know, someone is going to say, before a decision is made, we need to find out more information. So I feel like there's I wonder if the judge can order the other jurors that haven't said anything to be deposed, or, you know, cross-examined or something. Because I'm just getting that more information, they need more information before they can make a decision. So, but, you know, I do think that Chris, that's right, Chris. Hi, Lena. Happy Friday. So, Chris, what did you mean when you said, I wonder if Buster had some knowledge of what? I'm not sure of what. What would that have to do with the jurors? But I do think that eventually they probably will get a new trial. Murdaugh will get a new trial. That's what I'm picking up. Um, I wonder if this is possible. I wonder if it's possible for, instead of a new trial, is it possible to get his sentence altered or reduced or anything? I don't know. I'm getting some weird energy with the whole circumstances. But I do think that, yeah, I think I can tell you definitely they're pushing for a new trial. I do think eventually they most likely will get it, but someone is going to need more information. So I don't know if that's the judge. I don't know if it's the defense attorneys. I don't know who that is, but they're going to be trying really, really hard to get more of this information. And again, I'm kind of feeling like I wonder if the judge can order the other jurors to, I don't know, submit an affidavit or be deposed or something to find out what they heard or what they knew about this court clerk. Which, from what I understand, it's pretty crazy that this court clerk even did this. Like, and from the attorney, the lawyer YouTubers that I watch on here, they're all saying like this is something that doesn't happen. Like, this just doesn't happen. And on top of it, what's really making it seem like this court clerk did this because she, right after the verdict, is when her book, I believe, was published. So that sure seems like a reason that she would have to do this with these jurors. So, to try to, I mean, obviously, is her book going to sell if he was found not guilty? So I don't know. I mean, it definitely sounds like they have, some solid ground to stand on. Let me, I'm texting my daughter to let her know I'm on. So let's just ask that. Let's ask about the court clerk, if she will actually be charged, because this is some kind of crime. I don't know charged with what. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything. So, but let's ask if she will be charged with anything, criminally, with anything regarding her, talking to the jurors in this manner. If true, she deserves jail time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I hope that her publishing company decides to drop her. I mean, it's just messed up, isn't it? Regardless if you think that Alex Murdaugh did it or you think that he didn't do it, we have a justice system that's supposed to be fair, and you can't have this kind of stuff going on, not with a court representative, a court clerk or whatever. So maybe obstruction of justice charge. That's, I mean, maybe, I don't know, because I don't know obstruction of justice. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not an attorney, so I really don't know what the charge would be. But let's just ask if whatever the charge is, so she'll be charged with some kind of criminal charge, for speaking to the jurors. Hmm. I do think she's going to be charged with something. She's definitely going to be charged with something. However, I don't know if it's going to be that she serves any jail time. I'm kind of not feeling that she'll be serving any jail time. Maybe she'll get like probation, or if she does, it's like really minimal, like, I don't know, 30 days or something. But yes, I do feel like she will be charged with something. And also they are going to, obviously, if they haven't already, fire her, let her go. So I do see them letting her go. I do feel she did it. So she did say something that she shouldn't have been, that was inappropriate, that she's really not allowed to say to some of the jurors. I do feel that she did it. So yeah, I do think she'll be charged. I just don't know if it's going to be jail time. If it is, it's really minimal, like 30 days or something. Or it's just like, a year probation or something like that. She advised the jurors not to believe Murdaugh's testimony. Yeah, she did. And if I'm not mistaken, she also was saying, didn't she say something about don't watch, or don't pay attention to his body language or something like that, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely she told them not to believe his testimony. So, I mean, at the very least, she's going to be fired. But I do think that they will charge her. And I do think, she'll get, I just don't see a stiff sentence. I see, minimal. I mean, she'll get something, and then she'll have it on her record, and, she'll never work in that arena again. Now, I don't know if it's a felony that she'll be charged with. I don't think that would be a felony. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an attorney. If it's a felony, boy, she's going to have a hard time getting a job. Because you have to disclose if you've ever been convicted or whatever on most, applications. But anyway, so yeah, I do think she's going to be charged with something and given like a minimal sentence. Let's ask this. This is definitely interesting to me. Which I do think that, yes, there will be a new trial for Alex Murdaugh. So if there is a new trial, I want to ask if he'll be allegedly found guilty again. Because, the problem is now his defense lawyers know, they can build or do their defense much better because the whole thing, they went through the whole thing, right? So they could, they're like, they have a leg up now because they have knowledge of how the whole thing went before, so they can maybe change their defense strategy. As a corrupt attorney, Murdaugh knows how to throw a wrench into a trial, plus she sold books. He knows people. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, you know what just came to me when you said that, Chris? You know what I just heard? I wonder. Well, I want to ask this. I wonder if Murdaugh allegedly paid off or had someone pay off the court clerk to do this so that they could get a mistrial. I'm going to ask that before I ask the other one. Because I know he's pretty connected. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's very connected in that town. So let's ask that. Allegedly, this is not fact. Did Alex Murdaugh, did he either buy off this court clerk to make her do that, or pay someone to do it, or somehow orchestrate what happened with this court clerk? Her, so that he could get like a mistrial or have to get a do-over on the trial. Let's ask that. Allegedly. Yeah. As soon as you said that, it like, boom, I heard it right away. He has Buster out there supporting him. Well, I mean, Buster's his son's, right? So hi, persnickety, happy Friday. I mean, Buster's his son, so I'm not surprised that he would be supporting his dad, but I mean, when I ask if he allegedly, if Alex actually, paid off the juror or the court clerk or orchestrated someone else to do it or something to that effect, sort of. Allegedly, sort of. So he did something. I don't know if he knew exactly what the court clerk was going to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was someone else that also had something to do with one of the jurors as well. I wonder if. See, I'm getting like a download of all this information. I wonder if I want to ask. I think he has stuff on Buster to use him. Yeah. I mean, he probably has stuff on a lot of people. Quite frankly, I'm surprised knowing who he is and the connections that he has. I was surprised that he was found guilty to begin with. I mean, I think everybody was glad, allegedly, that he was found guilty, but so I don't know if it was the actual court clerk that I'm going to ask this because I just heard this. I want to ask if allegedly, if Murdaugh somehow got to one of the jurors or a few of the jurors or something, even if it was after the fact, to try to, get like a redo. Allegedly. Let's see. Interesting. So what I'm getting is, I think he did try, allegedly, to get to the jurors to see if something could be come out that would help, make this like a mistrial or whatever you want to call it. I'm seeing specifically 3 people. Hi, David. Happy Friday. I'm seeing 3 of the jurors specifically that I think allegedly that David Murdaugh maybe somehow got to. I'm seeing 3 of them. One of them didn't, actually 2 of them, I don't think, I think denied or declined or whatever. But there's one of them that I think he got to somebody. He got to somebody. And I do think so let me put it this way. Allegedly, I feel like he had a hand somehow in shaking up this, after the fact to try to get a mistrial so that he could be, go through this again. And I think, they're hoping that now that they had this dry run, if you want to call it that, practice run, that maybe the outcome will be different. But let me ask. So let's ask the question I originally was going to ask is if there is a new trial, which I do think that there will be, I do think there will be once they gather enough evidence or information, get enough information from other jurors or whatever. So if they do have a new trial, if Alex Murdaugh does have a new trial, will he be found guilty again for the second time? I'm getting that. Yes. If he does get a new trial, which I do think he will, allegedly, I think that yes, allegedly, he will be found guilty again. But I see that the prosecution is going to have a tougher time presenting their case because the defense is, again, they have already gone through it. So they know what to present, what not to present, what went over well, what didn't go over well. So they kind of have the upper hand here. I mean, the prosecution, to be fair, does too, but I think they're going to have a little tougher time. The prosecution, I think they're going to have a little tougher time getting that. But I do ultimately think yes. I do think yes, that he would, be found guilty again. So, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, because, with this court clerk thing, boy, oh boy, the court and judge is not happy. So they are going to be like with a fine-tooth comb, with a magnifying glass, watching everybody, everything, who's interacting with the jurors. And this may even affect other cases around the country because of this happening. So I can feel like restrictions. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if jurors are sequestered again. I know that they don't do that very often, but I wouldn't be surprised if jurors start being sequestered again to stop this from happening. Or they're going to have like a buddy system where you can't just have one person interacting with the jurors, like, even if it's just, hey, what do you want for lunch? Or the bathrooms are down the hall. Like, someone like a witness has to be there. They're going to crank down on that. Such a crazy thing that even happened. I mean, it was just, I mean, I think everyone was like, what the heck? So, I think there was some underhanded stuff there that either, the court clerk, someone, the jurors, whatever, someone had a hand. I think Alex Murdaugh allegedly had a hand in something to get this thrown out, to try to go again and see if he can get out of it the second time. So I don't think he's going to be able to do it, though. I think if it does have a new trial, I think he's going to be guilty. So, I mean, that's good. Okay, so have you guys heard of this? Switching topics. Have you guys heard of this Franke? Ruby Franke. His family, generations of corrupt attorneys. He learned some tricks. Hi, Linda. Yes, I know. Well, don't they pretty much like own that whole town? I just think that they like have so many connections inside all of the important, seats and courts and police departments and, oh my God, law firms and yeah. And people are afraid. Well, here's the thing though. He was found guilty once, and I do think he's going to be found guilty again if it goes to another trial. So he's not exactly getting to everyone. You know what I mean? He's not getting to everyone. And when I focus on the energy of Alex Murdaugh, even back when they were doing the trial, I just felt that, how do I describe it? Even though he's connected, his family's connected, generations and generations, the whole line of family generationally really owns that town or city or whatever you want to call it. The energy that I've always gotten from Alex Murdaugh is, I don't know how to describe it. Like the patsy, I don't know if you guys have ever heard that term. Like he messed up or something. And so they're not standing up for him like they have for other family members that have come before him. So I don't know if he hasn't lived up to what the generations of family thought that he should. So I kind of feel like, I don't think he had the help. Like I'm just, what I'm feeling is like he's left out in the cold on an island by himself and to fend for himself. That's kind of how the feeling of the energy when I focus on the energy around him is, and it always has been. It's like he made somebody mad in the family at some point in time, or maybe made several people mad, and so they're not exactly standing behind him or trying to help him like maybe other people from the family would have been helped. So I'm not saying that he doesn't still have connections. I do think he does, but it's not as easy as, oh, and I just heard this too. I even think I am just hearing right now, I just heard that I think, God, I don't know if it was a grandfather. Is it a grandfather? Does anyone know if he still has a grandfather alive? Great uncle. I don't know. Someone, I just heard that someone deliberately did something to get the guilty verdict against him, to make him the patsy, the fall guy, to get him out of the picture because he's been upsetting some people in the family, or he did something that the family wasn't happy with. And so they were trying to teach him a lesson. So I'm actually getting that That's interesting. I'm actually getting that someone in his family, a pretty powerful person, said it or paid someone off to make the verdict come back guilty. He wasn't as smart as the past family. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about him other than I can just go by the energy that I pick up on when I focus on him, and it's just not. It's like he made some dumb mistakes. Hi, Stephanie. Happy Friday. And I like the little drinks that you have there, emojis. I've only got my boring water. I wish I had one of those little emojis there. That's so cute. Yeah, I just feel like he did something and really made some of his very powerful family members really mad. And I think they orchestrated him being found guilty. However, I think Alex allegedly for, to be continued. Yeah. I mean, I think Alex is still has some connections, enough connections to get this wrench thrown in there so that they can get if this is going to be called a mistrial or however they call that, to be able to kind of do all this. So, but it's no accident that he was found guilty. That's not an accident. That was by design. So somebody powerful orchestrated that. That's interesting. I hadn't picked up on that before. That's interesting to me. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to live in that town. Not with those shenanigans going on. All right. So going back to, have you guys heard of this Ruby Franke? And her YouTube channel, I guess, was called 8 Passengers, I think. Have you guys heard of this story? I'll give just a really brief little summary. But basically, this Ruby Franke and yes. Hi, Penny. Happy Friday. Yeah. So apparently this Ruby Franke and her husband, which is his name, Kevin, I think. I get comments of people saying, how are you psychic when you're saying you think? Because it doesn't work that way. Sometimes we still need to do research. Read the headline, but not the article. Yeah. So basically, it's such a long story, but the gist of it is, right, Chris? Yeah. It just, people are funny sometimes. The stuff that they leave in the comments. I laugh and I think to myself, don't you have anything better to do? Whatever. So anyway, so this Ruby Franke, okay, her and her husband, who I think his name is Kevin, and then they had 6 children. They have 6 children. They started this YouTube video vlog, whatever, years ago. And basically they were filming literally every single thing in their entire family, but it was mainly focused on the kids. Well, they're Mormon, not that there's anything wrong with that. And so they have, certain things that they follow, but they started, especially Ruby, which is the mother, started giving out punishments or disciplining her kids in ways that were not really appropriate. I mean, CA, I'm going to say, if you know what I mean. I have to talk in code words. So people who were watching, and by the way, they had at one point something like over 2 million followers or subscribers or something insane. But I guess over time, they pretended to be perfect, but behind closed doors, monsters. Well, see, that's the thing. They didn't even pretend to be perfect because I've been watching a lot of the footage that some YouTube creators are pulling up, and she didn't even try to hide it. It was just, she just thought there was nothing wrong with it. I don't, anyway. So people, subscribers and people that would watch the videos started complaining. And then, yeah, full on Karen, worse than Karen. She, how about socio blank? Fill in the rest of that word there. But anyway, so people started complaining. Many people called the Children and Family Services, whatever that agency is called, and they investigated. And of course, as happens so often, which it makes me so angry, they said they closed the case and they said, oh, there's nothing going on. So fast forward, well, okay, so then they started getting so many complaints. They ended up not posting any more videos on this 8 passengers YouTube channel. They just kind of let that die out. So then Ruby went and started with this Jody Hilda, what's her name? I have it written down here. Jody Hildebrandt is her business partner. And apparently, I don't even know how she met this Jody lady or where she came from, but apparently those two started another YouTube channel called Connections, spelled with an X. And they've been doing that for a while now. Well, so, and then I think Ruby and her husband ended up getting divorced or separated or something. So he's not even there anymore. The husband's not even there anymore. And so it's just but this Jody is on set all the time and with, Ruby and her kids all the time. Okay, so it was just like a week ago or something that Ruby and this business partner of hers, Jody, were arrested and charged with CA and C neglect. So apparently hi, Ashley, her son's bed frame broke, and he mentioned that it was broken. And so she told him he should be grateful he even had a bed, and made him sleep on a beanbag in the living room for 8 months as a punishment. Yeah, I don't know if it could be that. Is it that? Or I also heard another thing that the reason he was made to sleep was that he played a prank on one of his siblings, saying they were going to Disneyland or something, and got her up in the middle of the night, and then, they never did go. So, but yeah, so she basically, I saw one where her daughter forgot her lunch for school, and teacher called her and she said, don't feed her. That's her fault. And her daughter was hungry. Poor thing. Yeah. And by the way, that daughter was only 6 years old at the time. 6 years old at the time. And yeah, and she videotaped herself in the car saying, acting, justified, like, and disgusted, saying, that's her fault. She forgot her lunch. I mean, she told me she brought it. So, the teacher wants me to feed her, but you know what? Maybe next time she won't forget her lunch. I mean, come on now. She said online she refused to let kids eat breakfast until they finish chores. Yeah. Well, here's the worst part. So apparently, and Ashley, maybe you can give some more details on this. Apparently, Ruby went on a trip or vacation or something, left the kids with this Jody, who was supposedly, if I heard this right, allegedly doing more abuse. In any event, one of her kids ended up getting out and went to the neighbor's house and knocked on the door and said, can I have something to eat? Well, the child, and I don't know how old this child was that got out, was like so thin, malnourished. It was clear that this child had not eaten in a very long time. So then this neighbor called the authorities. The authorities went there, went in the house, and found another child in that same condition. So that's how it ended up that they were there. There's probably more to the story too, that obviously the police are probably not releasing because it's an ongoing investigation. But there was obviously something going on, and it's just disgusting. Neighbor on 911 was crying. I know. It's just really sad. And I gotta say, you know, when I focus on the energy of this Ruby, remember I said socio blank? It's just some dark energy that I pick up on her, and I don't even and that Jody, now that I'm focusing on her too. Both of them, some very, very dark energy. But that Ruby, I don't even know if she is allegedly, if she's even human. I feel cold, complete coldness. That's all I pick up from Ruby. Like nothing. Like there's nothing there. No, it's just coldness. No, she and Jody both went on vacation and left the kids home alone for weeks at a time. And her 6-year-old was wandering around the neighbor, asking to play with other kids who were in school. Oh, I hope they put her in a cell with no food and water. Ruby and Jody are both demons. Yeah. I know for sure Ruby is. And of course, Chris, you know, criminals get better treatment than their victims, like by a mile. So, you know, of course she's going to get fed, and, you know, 3 meals a day and whatever, even if she goes to prison, because although people don't like when people do stuff to children. So she may get some, you know, backlash in prison. So yeah, it's a really, there's quite a few YouTube creators that are telling this story. So go on online and on YouTube later on or whatever, and just look up some of the creators that are telling the story about her. And you know, you'll see some of the clips of the video, and it's just disgusting. The incident last week, the youngest boy escaped duct tape bondage at Jody's home, and they found the youngest daughter still tied up in her home starving. Oh, yeah. Now that you say that, Ashley, I do remember that. Yeah. And the other little girl was still duct taped, right? Oh, I would go without food before I let my child go without. Exactly. Exactly. It's just, just disgusting. All right. So let's ask if Ruby and Jody will be found guilty, because they're obviously charged, you know, if they're, well, so I guess, will it go to trial? Maybe we should ask if it's going to go to trial. Let's ask if these charges will stick and they'll actually, you know, go to trial. Let's ask that first. Yeah, more is coming out. There's a lot more coming out. Yeah, I do get them. Yeah, I definitely, and their father clearly didn't care either. Ruby kicked him out like a year ago, and he just didn't want anything to do with her or the kids after that. And now he's trying to get custody of the kids. Well, that's one of the questions I want to ask Ashley, is about the father. So I've got a couple questions I'm going to ask about him too. Because yeah, he's not innocent in all this either. But anyway, yeah, I do think that, whatever charges, maybe even more charges, because I do get that there's more coming out. There's more coming out. But yeah, I do get that they will go to trial, and I think even maybe more charges as well. There is a lot more that's coming out that people haven't heard about yet, though. And I see, some of the children here that they're going to be talking to and trying to gather, I just feel so bad for those kids. If random people could see something wrong, he should have. Oh, yeah. I I get an energy off him as he doesn't care. I don't think he cares about anybody. I don't think he cares about his children. I know she doesn't, but she feels cold to me. Like there's nothing. Like, like a demon, like something. I just don't feel anything. So, okay, so now let's ask allegedly if they will be found guilty. This, and I'm talking about Ruby and Jody, if they will be found guilty. Hmm. I think they're going to be found. I think there's a possibility they may make a plea deal. I think Utah still has death penalty too. So will they get the death penalty if found guilty? Reminds me of the Turpins. Oh my God. Chris, the Turpins were 6,000 times worse. Oh my God, the Turpins were horrendous. Like, I'm not saying that what Ruby did is not bad. It is. I just think that the Turpins were, so much worse. But anyway, I mean, I think I can see that the court and the judge are not going to be happy. I do think that something's going to happen where I think they're going to get a sense that they're probably going to get, and maybe like you said, Ashley, that if they have the death penalty in Utah, maybe they know that there's a death penalty. Although I don't see them getting the death penalty. I don't feel them getting the death penalty for something like this. Not that this isn't bad, but I think that I keep hearing plea deal. I keep hearing plea deal. So this may not even go to trial. It might not even go to trial because I keep hearing plea deal. But yeah, I don't know that it'll actually make it to trial. I think they're going to try to plead out. Ruby, yeah, I think Ruby's the one who's going to have the main charges. Jody will have something. Boy, I'll tell you what, that energy on that Jody Hildebrand allegedly feels she's how do I want to say it? She's the mastermind of that whole connections channel, and I think she was behind making Ruby more strict with the kids. Once she left, she and her husband split up. I think Jody, now if they can prove that though, that's going to be the thing. Because Jody feels, even though I feel really dark and cold with Ruby, allegedly she feels not smart. I don't know if I want to say dumb, but she's not smart. Jody, that's the one that I think was the big, oh, you shouldn't let them get away with this. You should do that. They should get, punishment, whatever. I think Jody was really, does Jody have children? I don't know. I don't know if Jody has children or not. That's a good question. I'm not sure on that. Yeah, will the father get custody of the kids or will they stay? Yeah, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask Ashley. So let me just ask really quick that Jody has 4 children. Oh, of her own? Really? Does she have custody of them? Yikes. I just get that Jody did not like Ruby's kids at all. Didn't like them. Think they are grown now. Yeah, Jody just, I don't get that she likes Ruby's kids at all and was like, don't let them get away with that. They should be punished. You should do this, that, and the other, whatever. And Ruby's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to do that. I want to ask if Ruby or Jody are going to do any jail time. And then I'm going to ask about the father. Yeah, I do think there's going to be some jail time. Yeah, I do think there's going to be some jail time. I don't know if it's going to be as long as everyone would like. And that could be because, again, I keep hearing plea deal or something. Or someone testifies on the other one. And so one of them gets minimal or gets immunity or something. There's some weird, catch 22. I do think there's going to be some jail time, though. Ruby might try to say she's brainwashed by Jody. Yeah. The problem is, though, that Ruby was doing, this stuff way before she got together with Jody. I don't know how long she's known Jody, to be honest. Jody has also had lawsuits against her for patient mental abuse and blackmail, so she has a history. Interesting. I knew she divulged information, private information to their church about what they divulged in confidence, patient-client confidentiality. But interesting. Well, yeah, I think someone's going to maybe get a lesser sentence, or I don't know about it, total immunity, but I think someone's going to, testify against someone else. I don't know. So there's going to be something. It's not a cut and dry thing. And I don't know if they're going to end up getting as much time as everyone would like. So unfortunately. So let's ask, I want to ask this. I want to ask, before we ask if if I think his name is Kevin, the husband, I want to ask, before I ask if he's going to get custody, I want to ask if he's going to be charged with anything. Because what if they go back on past videos and decide to, I don't know, unless he's the one that testifies. I'm going to ask really quick, though, if he will be charged with anything. Mm. I am getting there is a possibility that I think allegedly that he may be charged. And it's not only because of what they see on videos, it's also because, you know what? They're all going to like start tattling on each other. You know, Ruby's going to tattle on him, tattle on Jody. Jody's going to tattle on both of them. You know, Kevin, the husband's going to tattle on, you know, they're all going to be like tattling on each other. So I do think that they will bring up some charges or try to charge the husband with something. And it's because they're all turning on each other, you know. So let's ask this. Yeah, they're just all turning on each other. So I'm going to ask, I want to ask if, like I don't even feel love between any of them. Not for each other, not for the kids. I feel none of that. I feel like they're all, I feel awful for the children because they're the ones that had to suffer through all of this stuff and be humiliated, you know, for everyone to see on YouTube. So that's who, and then ultimately, you know, the A word, CA, like a cult. Yeah. Yeah. So, so he may be charged, but I want to see, well, if he's going to be charged, let's see if the husband then will go on trial. I kind of feel like he won't. I wonder if he's the one that makes some kind of deal for like immunity or something. A cult apart from normal society. Yeah. So let's see if he will go on trial. I don't think so. I don't know if he's going to be tried. I wonder if they're going to use his testimony and, you know, I think somehow he's going to get out of it. I don't really feel a lot happening with him. I wonder if the two older siblings will get the children. They're 18 and 20 and can legally take them. You know what? That might be a good question to ask. So I'm going to ask first if the husband will get custody. And man, I really hope that he doesn't, because I don't get that he really cares about the kids. It's sad, but I don't get that. So, well, I'm going to ask if he's going to get him. And then if, depending on what that answer is, let's also ask about the two, Chad, and I forget what the other girl's name is. Chad, I know, is the older boy. I don't know. I forget what the older daughter's name is. Chad and Sherry. Okay. I'm not getting a solid answer on if he's going to get custody or not, but I'm getting that he doesn't want custody. And I don't when I when I focus on his energy, I don't get that he wants the kids at all. Like at all. I don't get that he wants them. I don't even get that he loves them or even likes them. They're just a pain in the neck. So I wonder if he would drop pursuing custody. Or maybe maybe if they're going to try to think about charging him and whatever, maybe he drops it then. But I really get that he doesn't want. I do get that it'll be someone else that gets custody. Let's ask. So I can't say for sure if the dad is going to. So maybe he wants them to act like he was a victim. Well, it makes him look better in the eyes of the public if he acts like he's a loving father. If he comes out and says, I don't want my kids, well, then that's going to make him look even worse, right? So, yeah. So let's ask if Chad and or Sherry will get custody. Boy, I can feel I can feel their pain. It's not, even though they're older, these kids are messed up. My heart breaks for them. Well, I think they've already been in discussions about that. They're going to try. I think Chad and or Sherry are going to try. I think they've already been discussing trying to get custody of them, and I don't know ultimately that they will be seen as capable of raising the kids because of that they were in this situation and they're still kind of young themselves. So I don't know if they would get approved. I don't know if they would get approved, but they are really going to try. I mean, I see them really trying. So, and I actually get, when I focus on the energy, I do get that Chad and Sherry would be able to take care of them. Okay. I think that I think that they would do great for the kids, especially Sherry, but even Chad. I'm getting that they would be good with the kids. Because they can empathize and they've been through it. So and it's their siblings, right? They're brothers and sisters. So that's what I pick up, is that they would actually be good to take custody of the kids. I just don't know if they're going to be approved for that, because they were also kind of victims. And so they may think that, they're going to have to deal with their own stuff. So how can they help these other kids that were also through it? I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. It's just, the whole thing just makes me mad. Anything about young kids, it just really, really cuts at me. I can't take it. All right. Ask how the children are health-wise. That's a good question. Okay, so let's ask. I'm going to ask, I can feel mentally and emotionally, especially the older ones, are kind of messed up. But let's ask how are the kids doing? Well, I can tell you this, that they're going to be sending the kids love and light. Good. They need it. They need it. Um, I'm getting that the kids are ultimately going to be okay. I'm getting that they're going to be okay. And there is, God, I know there's 6 of them. So I'm trying to figure out, and I don't remember all their names, but I'm trying to figure out whose energy I'm picking up. So one of the, I would say, middle-aged, so not the youngest, but it feels like one of the girls, but like the mid-range ages, she's going to have some, emotional stuff to go through. Um, and I'm feeling most of them are going to have a real hard time trusting. Because, the parents were getting their siblings to kind of, get into this making fun of, and, they would check their cell phones and make fun of them about the text messages that they got or whatever. So, or make fun of each other or gang up on each other. So it's going to be hard for them to trust. And you obviously you can't blame them. So they're definitely going to need some long-term therapy and counseling and all of that. But I get, though, that ultimately, they're going to be okay. Ultimately, they're going to be okay. Not tomorrow. I'm feeling it's a long road, but I'm feeling some of the kids will bounce back, if you want to call it like that, or heal quicker. But then there's a couple of them that I'm feeling that it's going to take a really long time. Even Russell were the 2 youngest, tied up and starved at Jody's. Oh, I don't know the 2 middle girls' names, but they definitely pit the kids against each other. Yeah. Even Russell, I don't know how old they are, but they feel like I don't know how young they are, but they feel like they're going to get past this a little quicker than some of the, I know it breaks my heart too, than some of the older ones. It's the little bit older ones. Chad's kind of messed up too. See, I think Sherry is too, but it's like the middle ones. There are a couple of the middle ones that feel, especially one in particular. It's just gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for them to, heal and get past this and trust. They've never been able to trust anyone in their lives, and it's just really sad. It's just sad. The people that you're supposed to be able to trust the most and who's supposed to look out for you and protect you and take care of you betrayed them. They've had no one on their side. And then you've got this Jody person that comes in, and there's another adult that, it's just really sad. Sherry was a protector, and once she and Chad left, it got way worse for the other 4. See, I'm getting that Sherry and Chad would actually be good taking them. I just don't know if they will be approved. I think, I don't know, at least not for a while. I just feel like they won't be approved to get custody or whatever of their siblings. But it's just really sad. I just feel so awful for those kids. So awful. And the thing that really, I don't even get that Kevin, the husband, Ruby, or especially Jody, she cannot stand Ruby's kids. But I get that Ruby and the husband don't care at all about their children. Like it was just a means to an end. It was just, I don't get that they care about their children at all. Wishing the children hope and happiness and love for the future. Yeah. Yeah. They need that. Sherry always stood up for them and hugged them when Ruby was nasty to them, and Chad had a good bond with Russell. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting that they would be fantastic if the kids could go with them. I just feel like there's some road bumps that I don't know that they would get approved to be able to take them. I don't know if it's because they're so young or what, but it's really sad. But I think ultimately the kids are going to be okay. There's one, like I said, middle-aged one that is going to take a while before she can heal. I saw the Turpin children went through hell in foster care after what the parents went through. So there's that. Oh my God. I know that whole, oh my God, those Turpin children. That is one of the most horrendous stories. And especially once they went into foster care and what they went through, it was deranged. It was like, what in the world? If you guys don't know about the Turpin family, Google it, look it up. It's just, it's just heartbreaking. Oh, heartbreaking. Yeah. You know what? Let's ask if the Franke kids, if any of them will have to go into foster care. Who knows? They might even be in foster care now. I don't know. But let's ask if are they in foster care? I'm trying to pick up. Let's ask if they either are already or will they stay in foster care. Go or stay. Well, I think they might. 2 are in foster and 2 in the hospital. Yeah, I do think that they might have to go. Well, sounds like 2 of them are already in foster care. I feel like they're all going to be in foster care. Well, the younger ones, but I don't feel them staying there. So I wonder if there's some other family member or something, not Sherry or Chad, but some other family, something that will step forward and take them. Foster care is going to be really hard for them. So I think, you have this life. Think about it. That's the only life that they've ever known. They've known no other life. So that's all they've known. So even though it wasn't good, you take them out of there to put them into something that they don't know, and that's traumatizing. So I do see them, not doing great in foster care. I'm not picking up any energy that I'm not picking up any energy where I think that they would be mistreated or anything like that with any of the foster families. Thank God. I'm not picking that up. I'm not picking that up. I'm just picking up that I think it's going to be rough for them to try to deal with all this stuff. They've got a lot of healing to do and a lot they're going to need serious therapy for probably a long time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so foster care, I don't know. It's okay, I just feel like it's not the greatest, and I don't feel them staying there long term. So I'm hearing about 9 months, 9 months, around 9 months. I think they may be in foster care, but then I feel they go with someone that is somehow connected with family. It's somehow family or something. Um, I mean, I get that they're going to be okay, though. I mean, if that's any kind of consolation that from everything that they've gone through, that they're still going through, I feel that they're going to be okay. So I'm grateful for that. Oh, it's just so sad. Anything with children, it just really breaks my heart. Send them lots of love and positive healing energy, and just try to send them what we can to try to help them heal. Um, so one quick thing I wanted to ask about, and this is interesting. This is kind of way off topic. Too bad they weren't taken out of there in 2020, the first time CPS went there. I know. Well, CPS found nothing wrong here. We're closing the case. That's what CPS, they found nothing. But how many times how many times do we hear that in story after story? I mean, that's why CPS around the world is just, what I really feel like the problem is, I think because they get funding, I think, from either the state or the federal money. I don't know. They're understaffed. They can't get people to do their job. They don't pay them well. I feel like if they could get maybe privatize some of them, although I know that there are some private institutions that do, or organizations that do some fostering. Parents are good liars too. Yeah. But I feel like there's not enough foster parents, or good foster parents, or places. So I wonder if that's part of the problem, is they don't have anywhere to place children. Not that I'm making excuses for them, but I feel like there's not enough foster places. I also feel like there's the CPS, any kind of agency that looks out for children and family, they're understaffed. So I've heard many times that they have like 25 kids that they're responsible for, and to keep track of all that. And then if you're not paid very well, I mean, the whole thing is just a mess. The whole thing is a mess, and I don't know what the answer is. I really don't know what the answer is. I mean, I was going to say privatize, but we do have. It's also the way society see children as not being fully grown. Yeah, people. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, because I was going to say privatize, but I know that there's private agencies out there too that you hear horror stories as well. So I don't know what the answer is. It's just unfortunate that children have to be victims like this. It's because they can't defend themselves, and it makes me so sad. And I don't know that there's a fix for all of this, because how do you fix it? It's way too broken. There's too many things that are broken. It's just really sad. All right, switching topics again. This is difficult situation in society, the way it's structured. I know. Okay, did you guys hear about this? The alleged alien attacks in Peru. I really just started hearing about this I heard a little bit about it a couple weeks ago, but then I really started hearing more about it in the last, I don't know, week. And supposedly in Peru, there are these like 7-foot tall aliens that have been attacking the Peruvians, and they've got, the media's been reporting on it in Peru. They've had the whole city try to come together and do shifts at nighttime. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but what is a good video to check out is Christina Randall. She just uploaded a video. I've seen a few, but this one, she kind of put together a lot of different, the different rumors and theories out there in one place. So her name is Christina Randall. Look up, I think she just posted it yesterday or this morning for like all the details. But a couple of the things is, okay, so they're saying there's aliens. Their media is plastering it. They've got people trying to work different shifts. They've got, she is great. Yeah, I love Christina. Alien attacks in Peru. Yeah. So I, so you can get but there's all these theories out there. Like some people are saying, oh, well, it's not really aliens. It's like cartel people who are dressing as aliens to scare them, to get their gold or something, or get their, stuff from the island or wherever it is that they live. And then other people are saying that they're flying around on jetpacks, and, it's just like there's so much stuff that's being said. So I wanted to ask if there, I mean, I do feel that there are aliens, right? Okay, but why are suddenly hearing about UFOs and aliens? Well, that's a great question, Chris. I mean, why all of the sudden is it like everywhere? The congressional hearing and this Peru thing now, and to distract us. Yep, you're probably right, Ashley. Everything is about distraction. Everything is about distraction. Let's look over here so that you don't see what's going on over there. So we're gonna put all this in your face to get you to not pay attention to what's going on over there. So that is definitely probably what's happening. But I want to ask if there really are aliens, an alien kind of species that is attacking the Peruvian people. That's what I want to ask. Well, David, I think, yeah, Wag the Dog, Dustin Hoffman movie about media distraction. Ooh, I'm going to have to watch that. So, David, why Peru alone and not other countries around the world? I think that there are other places. I mean, you hear about people reporting that they've seen, UFOs or whatever stuff all over the place. There was just in Las Vegas, was it like a month ago, where there was and you can look the videos up on this. There was like this big green ball coming or hovering or something, and then this family called into the police authorities, the emergency line. They went out in their backyard, and there was, and they're talking to 911, the emergency dispatcher, saying they have no eyes or whatever was their description. So, it does happen all over the place. But why is there this huge focus on Peru? I don't know if it's just because Peru is, their media, their government, all of that, they're on board with putting it out there. Whereas, like, for instance, here in the States, in the US, they try to hide it, right? So we don't talk about it. The media doesn't report on it. Things are hidden. So that could be part of it. But, when I ask if there really are, they have been all over lately. Russia shot down 2 UFOs when they first started attacking Ukraine. So, are there really aliens there? I'm going to say yeah. And, we'd have to, and are they good? Are they really attacking them? I'm going to say yeah. Peru is third world, so they don't have the means to defend themselves. So they have been reaching out to other countries for help. Well, I'm going to say yeah. And, I'm going to say that we'd have to be, oh God, what's the word I'm trying to think of? We'd have to be crazy to think that we are the only living beings, in the entire galaxy. I mean, arrogant or whatever. That would be crazy to think that. But yeah. I actually am getting that there are some good and some bad. So some that are maybe trying to help them and some that are attacking them. So I don't know if they're different. We are not alone, right? So I think there are some that are maybe trying to help them, but maybe from behind the scenes. I know in Christina's video, she mentioned that someone was saying that there was like he was, and I don't know if it was in Peru or somewhere else, but they were doing like an archaeology dig or something, and they went down in these tunnels and came upon what they claim was aliens that were living underground. So they went like in this big capsule thing, and he was attacked and all of that. So, I do think there's good ones. I think there's bad ones there. And I think the good ones are trying to help, but they're not able to help as much because the bad ones are pretty bad. So I'm going to say, yeah, the universe is too vast. Yeah. I'm going to say, yeah, they really are. I think there's really, aliens in Peru that have been attacking them, like literally attacking them often. When I heard the jetpack story, the cartel and the jetpack, everyone blames the cartel for everything. Oh yeah, it's the cartel. Like the Idaho 4 case. Oh, the cartel was involved. I mean, anything that comes up, oh, it was the cartel. Question, are there aliens disguised as humans around us? Silly question, are giants real or were they? Yeah, well, let's ask. So, yeah, Chris, I think that, yeah, so going back to this, I didn't feel any truth to the whole jetpack thing with the cartel. That's just, so let's ask, if there are aliens disguised as humans in the world, anywhere in the world. I'm going to say I feel like yes. I'm going to tell you something else too, but let me ask this first. I would say yeah. Yes, but not, I would say, because what the energy that I pick up on is there's different, what, species or however you want to say it. So some, but not all of them. Are Men in Black real? That's another good question. So yes, I do think that there are some alien beings that are disguised as humans. But here's what I've always felt like as far back as I can remember. When I focus on the energy, I actually feel that this is probably, oh my God, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. This is Twilight Zone over here. Yeah. The Twilight Zone. We're having another supernatural live stream. But what I have always picked up is that I feel thousands and thousands of years ago that there were some species, you can call me crazy if you want, but this is what I get when I focus on the energy, that there were some aliens that actually procreated or not merged, but had relations with humans. And so there are people in their DNA that have part alien DNA. That's what I've always picked up on. You can call me crazy. I probably am crazy. Nephilim. Yeah, I've heard that term. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but yes. So I feel that, way, way, way long time ago, aliens kind of got together with humans, not everyone on the planet, obviously, but there are, humans that have, and generations that have alien DNA in them. And how do you test for that? Right? You can't. That's what you are talking about is Nephilim. Oh, I gotcha. I didn't know that that's what they were. Let's ask your question, Ashley. Are giants real or were they? I read a book, Humalian, based on a true lady. Ooh, that would be interesting. Otherwise, how did we get from cavemen till now? Yeah, right. Let's ask now if, and then I'm going to ask about if Men in Black are real. But I want to ask if giants, if there ever were, if they are, are real, or did we ever have giants? Let's ask that. I feel yes, but I'm going to ask. I feel like this is the Discovery Supernatural Twilight Zone live stream. I'm getting a yes. Yeah, double yes. So yeah, when I focus on the energy, oh, I'm glad, David. When I focus on the energy of giants, I don't know that I necessarily feel that they're still around today, but I do feel that they, at some point back in history, we did have, just like we had dinosaurs, right? So I do feel that we had giants. And yes, I'm definitely getting a double yes. So, um, yeah. And what's interesting is I'm getting that they were um, kind of, how do I say it? A nicer, gentler species, if I can say species. I don't know I don't know if you'd say they're human. I don't know. But I'm not saying like literally every single one of them, but I'm getting they were like it's a nicer, like a more chill energy with them. That's kind of what I pick up. Um, we are going to have nightmares laughing. Cue the Twilight Zone music. Let's ask if Men in Black are real. I like that question. Let's ask if Men in Black are real. Calm nature, exactly. Yeah, just really a nice energy I get from them. Very nice energy. Giant aliens built the pyramids. Yeah, right? Let's see. I'm going to say when I ask if Men in Black or, an agency or, something like that, if that's real, I get yes, but it's very well hidden. And not everybody who's put that organization together is doing it for positive um, positive reasons. I think, I mean, they definitely don't want people to know about it, but I don't get that their motives for having something like that is all for good. I think it's nefarious reasons. So yeah, I do think we have some kind of group, organization, whatever that you know does is acts like the Men in Black, but they're not good. There are pictures of civilized giants living along with our sized people, and I had heard that the giants were exterminated. Is this true? Ooh, let's ask. Smithsonian has giant skeletons that they used to have on display, and now they deny it. Yep, I agree. They did, or at least alien technology helped build the pyramids. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that too. I feel the pyramids were built with probably maybe giants, but definitely aliens. That's what I've always felt. Um, so let's ask if the giants were on purpose exterminated. Thought I just dropped a card. So let's ask if they were, maliciously exterminated. Hmm. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say yes. To a certain degree, there were definitely people that were behind trying to exterminate that whole species, and I feel it's because they were so big, they had so much power, they could dominate if they wanted to. Although I don't feel that they really did a lot of that because I just feel a gentleness with them. But I do feel that, yeah, I mean, yeah, I do think that, yeah, they probably were at some point exterminated. It took a while, but I do feel that, yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's kind of sad because the energy that I pick up from them is just very gentle. I don't think that they would have tried to do anything necessarily to hurt, humans or anything like that. And it's just kind of sad. Um, and the Egyptian pharaohs were also thought to be giant beings. Oh, I hadn't heard that. Humalian by Jane Pooley. Seriously, I read the book. I think we are part alien and human. Yeah, I think many people are. We're the giants, the ones you built. Oh, we're the giants, the ones who built the. Okay, I can't pronounce that. The Champ de Elys and Eiffel Tower. Let's ask. I'll have to remember. I'll take a look for that book, Chris, if I can if I can remember. I think that'd be an interesting read. So let's see if the giants were the ones who built that first thing that you asked about that I can't pronounce, and the Eiffel Tower. Hmm. I'm getting yes. Not totally exclusively them, though. I'm getting that it was not only them. They had help. Um, and I think, from what I'm picking up, they got help from aliens. So I think that, yes, I think the giants did help build the Champ de Elys. Oh my God, I can't even pronounce that. And the Eiffel Tower. I do think that they were part of it, but I also think aliens were. um, it was like a collaborative effort, between them. I think the giants had a good working partnership with some alien species. So that's kind of what I feel. If you believe in the Bible, even if just passed down stories, giants were definitely real and more than just Goliath. Nephilim were offspring of angels and human women, according to the Bible. Yeah, I think I heard that. Every culture on the planet talks about giants and the Great Flood. My mind absorbed all the supernatural things in the Bible stories. Mine would too. Yeah, mine would too. Talking donkeys, spaceships, giants, etc. Talking donkeys. Wow. Um, let's ask that. I want to ask that question. Persnickety. If the Nephilim or if they're, whether it's Nephilim or not Nephilim, if there are actual people who are part angel. Let's ask that. Because I've never really focused on that. So let's ask that. That would be interesting. See, now you make me want to kind of read the Bible only to look up that stuff. But I mean, I don't even know where to look to find that stuff. The crazy descriptions of angels in the Bible are mind-blowing. Wow. Where were the talking donkeys in the Bible? It maybe in Shrek. Maybe Shrek was pulled from something from the Bible. I don't know. Yeah, I would like to hear the stories about the angels, but I want to ask if there are humans that are part angel. Would the angels actually be aliens? Ooh, now we're really going down the rabbit hole. Well, it had to be asked. I know. Well, would they be aliens? I mean, I guess in a way, maybe they would be because they're not human. On the other hand, though, I think they're spiritual, right? So that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. I don't know. But let's ask if we have any humans with angel stuff in their DNA. Is God an alien? We are really going down. We're really going down the rabbit hole. See, I'm going to tell you what I've always picked up about angels and stuff after I give you this answer, because it's a little something different. I don't know if I would say that there are humans. Maybe it was just one donkey. I'm telling you, it was the donkey from Shrek. Maybe, so I don't know if I would say that there's actually humans with angel DNA. I'm not saying that. It's saying sort of, but it's not exactly. So here's what I've always picked up from, my guides and stuff is I feel that, we can, our souls decide to, our souls are kind of like on this journey to, get to that elevated level and work its way up. And, that's subjective depending on who the soul is, right? But so one way that a soul can learn these different things to help it grow is to reincarnate into lives. That's why we have past lives and we reincarnate and all that. However, souls can even do jobs in between lives, human lives. So for instance, there can be some souls that will take on the role of helping people cross over when they pass on. There can be some souls that are spirit guides for humans or animals. There are, there's different roles. Well, one of the roles that I have picked up, and I picked this up many times over the years, there are some souls that will act in some capacity, some level of angel. Different. There's many, many different types and levels of angels. So that's what I've picked up from when I've done readings on clients and done energy work and, focused on what information I get from my guides. I get that there are some souls that do that as a job. So they perform some level of angel, whatever, so that they can learn. But what I get, this is just what I get, what I picked up from clients that I've run across that have had this happen. When they are an angel and they're doing that role, because it's a little bit of a higher, how do I want to say it? It feels like it's a more elevated being, kind of like God. That essence of that angel that they were stays with their soul. So it stays on their soul in a spiritual sense, so that as even when they're come into reincarnate into lives, they still have some of that angel essence, if that makes sense. So people are always drawn to them because they can't understand why, but there's something that feels warm and welcoming and all of that. So that's my experience. And so I don't, and in the cards, I don't know that I get that there's angel DNA, like literal and physical bodies. I get that there is on a spiritual level, So I've run across that many times with clients over the years. So, that I definitely think can happen. I've seen it. I've picked it up with clients. I've seen it. Let's see here. I got to get caught up on the chat. Biblical stories match other culture stories, like how Cain and Abel fought, and so did Zeus and his brother, two brothers gods from India. Yeah. In the book of Numbers, the story of Balaam and his talking donkey. Maybe it was just one donkey. I do. Okay, talking donkey. Okay, let's play a cuckoo. Let's play a cuckoo spooky Halloween episode. We should. When you know what day does that fall on? Let me look at my calendar and see, because we should all kind of come up with like topics that are, spooky Halloweeny and just talk about those. Let's see. Okay, well, that's on a Tuesday, so we could do it the Friday before that. So maybe October 27th. I have something caught in my throat. Sorry. Maybe we'll plan on October 27th. You guys try to come up with a bunch of spooky little Halloween stuff, and we'll like myths or whatever, ghost stories, and we'll just look at all that stuff on that episode. That would be fun. I'm going to start building my thumbnail for that and put like ghosts and stuff. That would be fun. I'm down with the spooky Halloween episode. Yeah. I loved the donkey and Shrek. I know, he was so funny. Well, Shrek was cute anyway. I wanted to ask, does the soul spirit know when a life is going to end or coming to an end? Consciousness, I have no idea when life is going to end. Well, yes, on a spiritual level, David, I do think the soul knows, because here's why. I feel that before we come into a life, our soul decides, okay, I've got this big list of stuff that I still want to learn, experience, try to grow from. And so I think I'm going to come into a life, incarnate into a life. And then it kind of maps out our timeline of our life. And so it'll just kind of plot different things at different ages and different times. So our soul does know before we get here. Unfortunately, we as humans don't have memory usually. Some people do, or some people get glimpses. And then there's past life regression, that definitely can work sometimes. But, yeah, I do think that on a subconscious soul level, our soul knows exactly why we're here. Yes. I definitely feel that. You know me, I've got all the good stuff. Yeah, Ashley, start making your list now. Mark your calendars, October 27th. We're going to do the spooky Halloween episode. I Googled it for those who are curious. Numbers 2228 was the talking donkey. The book of Ezekiel was the possible spaceship, chapters 1 and 10. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to get Halloween nails. Yeah, right? I might even get some too. That'd be fun. I think demons can intervene and take you out sooner than you had planned also. Yeah, that's a good point, Ashley. Yes, demons can definitely, and dark can definitely try to sway and interject, and get people to do like unalive themselves or, do something, to other people. So absolutely that can happen. My Life After Death, a Memoir from Heaven. Is that a book, Chris? My Life After Death, a Memoir from Heaven. Got you, Kathy. Great book about a mom and her son. Oh, hi, Linda. I know about the talking donkey because when people mock my interest in aliens, I laugh at them for believing in the book with the talking donkeys. Yeah. Well, it's always curious to me how people have different beliefs, and that's perfectly fine. But when you think about the Bible, men wrote it. Men wrote it. So I don't know. How truthful is it? And we weren't there. So do we know for sure that Jesus had anything to do with anything that was in there? I mean, do we know? I don't think we don't know. So if you are dying of old age, you start to unintentionally astral travel, and that's why you see the elderly talking to past loved ones or people who aren't visible to us. Yeah, I mean, there's children that do that too, though, Ashley. Children and animals can absolutely talk with, people that are in spirit form. And so many different men wrote the Bible over a long period of years. Exactly. That's because children had just come from that side. Yeah, you're probably right, Ashley. And animals too. I don't know if you have answered this question already, but the crazy plane lady issued an apology and was on TMZ, but she looks very different. Is it her or someone else? Maybe AI generated. Yeah, Lena, I think I asked about that a couple weeks ago on one of my live streams, but I feel and I did as soon as I saw the apology video and saw her on the TMZ interview at the airport. I feel that it's her. I know that people say she looks different, but I get that it's her. It's her. When I focus on that energy, it's her. And, she could have had, well, first of all, she had her hair totally different, right? Totally different. She probably did her makeup different. And, women can definitely look different depending on how they do their makeup. So, like, for instance, I don't have mascara on today and I look terrible, but I didn't have time to put it on. But yeah, I think that the plain lady is her. When she did the apology video and I saw the comments going wild, it's not her. That's not her. I felt that it was her. And I asked about it a couple videos ago. I can't remember which video. I have it in the subject line, and then you can go in the description and look up the timestamp. But I do feel it was her. I think TMZ was on purpose because people didn't believe the apology was not her. So she dressed the exact same and met up with TMZ to tie the two videos together. I did hear that too, Ashley. And that's a plausible thing. Yeah, that I could see something like that. The Romans who convert to Christian had a conference to decide what was to be in the Bible. Interesting. Yeah, who knows what they changed on the Bible? I always get into it with people saying that something. I think you dropped up. Oh, that psychics are bad. Well, thank you for defending us, Stephanie. But there's always going to be people who, but here's what I'll say. Now, I have not literally read this myself, but I have heard people say that in the Bible, somewhere it talks about the wise men were following the North Star because, and they were going to bring gifts or something of like crystals and jewels and gems. There's your crystals. And they were following the North Star. That's astrology, based on the word of a prophet, which is probably the word from back in the day of psychic. So, I don't know. I'm fine with people who don't believe in psychics. I've been hearing that for 45 years. I mean, when I first started doing this back 40 something years ago, oh my God, I was like the devil. I was like Satan. People were like, oh my God, are you in a cult? Do you worship Satan? It was just insane. So we've definitely come a long way, but there are still people who are, not there yet. I don't give any credence to anything from TMZ. They're dogging Britney even after all these years. Listen, TMZ is in league with Britney's family and team. And Lou Taylor and all of that. Allegedly. That's what I feel. That's what I pick up. I am not a fan of TMZ, and I think they're in league with, to take Britney down. That's what I pick up energetically. So I'm not a fan of TMZ either. Allegedly, there was a book in the Bible that was by Mary Magdalena, supposed. Yeah. When did you first realize you had psychic abilities? I guess probably when I was a kid, but I didn't realize that that's what it was that I was getting. I just was able to pick up on things. I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, though, until I was maybe like, I don't know, 18 or 19, probably. And then how I really, really focused on it was I had some other psychics who were phenomenal that had been telling me that I was very psychic and that I should do it professionally. And, I just heard it enough to where I was like, well, maybe there's something to this. So that's how I got into it. But I've always felt I just kind of knew stuff. And to me, that's just how it was. Like, I didn't know that not everybody could do that. So looking back on it, I was probably, young. I mean, I don't remember when I first started, but when I put like when I was able to equate it with the like being psychic or whatever, was probably in my late teens when I started hearing it from other psychics telling me. And then I started looking at it and thinking, now I got it. Now I understand. What makes me mad is that prophets are messengers of God, but psychics are evil. Yeah, exactly. All I have to say is, God told me. Right. Exactly. Hit the nail on the head, Ashley. There have been a ton of translations of the Bible too, a copy of a copy of a copy, and so much lost in translation. Exactly. That's like the telephone game. Everything is lost in translation. You hit the nail on the head with that persnickety. The church didn't want us having our own connection to spirit. so that we'd go to them, giving them a lot of control. A connection to spirit is available to all of us. Absolutely. 100%. You're completely right on that. That's why the church taught against psychics and mediums. Yeah. Yep. You hit the nail on the head. Your poor husband and kids laughing. My husband's so used to hearing me with this nonsense. It's not nonsense to me, but he's so used to hearing me talk about it that he probably tunes me out. And the Bible was copied and changed from the Quran. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think men wrote it, and who knows what men wrote it. And like Persnickety said, it's copies of copies and have been changed and changed and changed. And who knows? In the Bible, Christianity can get words from the Lord to share with others. Isn't that what psychics do? Exactly. Exactly. Yes, that's right. I don't know. Talking donkeys are kind of nonsense. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had dreams that come true my whole life. Yeah, those are premonitions. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen, we all have it. Here's another thing. Some people don't realize that gut intuition is, like, um, let's say you're someone who, when you meet people for the first time, you pick up like you can pick up from them if they're a good person, if you can trust them. You pick something up from them. People don't understand that that's psychic intuition. That's being psychic. That's connected in. They don't look at it that way. Everyone has it. Everyone has this too. Most people have this where, you're, I don't know, washing dishes, folding laundry, whatever, making lunch, and someone pops in your head out of the blue. And the next thing you know, you're getting a phone call or text message from them. That's psychic intuition. People don't understand that that's what it is. Everyone has it. I have dreams of natural disasters before they happen. I know, Ashley, you are incredibly gifted with that. I test my fiance and friends with telepathy. We all have gifts if we just really concentrate on a number from 1 to 10, and I send it to you. I bet you can guess it right. Maybe. All the time. Yep. Can you tell what my background is? I've had a lot of deprogramming to do. And here I am. I appreciate your gentle spirit, Kathy. You're so kind. Oh, thank you. You guys are so kind too. Yes, absolutely. Messages can come to anybody, and you don't need an institution to help you with a message. Yeah. I mean, exactly. Everyone has has it in them. Everyone can connect with angels, can connect with God, passed on loved ones. It's just some people maybe have a little more difficult time connecting in, because I feel like before we get here, remember I mentioned a little bit ago that I think before we get here, our soul decides, okay, I'm going to learn, I'm going to, I've got this big list, and I'm going to kind of plot all these different things on the timeline of my life. And what if, the things that the soul came in this life to do are more the here and now and the human stuff? Like, I can feel these cards. They're in my hand. I can see them. So I want to focus on just stuff that I can see in the here and now. What if that was one of your soul's things that you wanted to do? So maybe it takes a little more effort to connect in, where some people come in and they want to totally explore and take a deeper dive and really enhance all of the spiritual stuff, right? So it just depends on what path we're on. There's also dark energy, which can block us from that. So there's a lot of different things that are going on, right? we choose to ignore that little voice sometimes, and we always regret it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, we're still human. You know what I mean? We're still human after all. So, and here's a good way to look at the people that, here's a good way to look at the people who believe in Catholicism, Christianity, the Bible, all of that stuff, and against, psychics or spirituality or whatever. Here's a good way to look at it. If you ask a 5-year-old child to write a thesis for a college thesis paper, can they do it? Of course they can't, unless of course they're a genius. But I mean, most 5-year-olds can't do that because they're not at that level yet. Later in life, they'll be at that level, but they're not at 5 years old. So think of, there's different ages of souls. There are younger souls and there are older souls. So the people who are kind of stuck in the organized religion or, the Bible and all of that stuff, think of them as a younger soul, and they're just not at the same level or progression yet as some other people, right? So that's what I think of it. It's not that they're, bad people or anything. They're just at a different spiritual growth level, than maybe I am. So, that's how I look at it. And I just think that, everyone's different. People are at different levels. And so I don't get mad at that stuff. I just think, they're at a different level. That's all. Message. Okay. The here and now is a good place to be, but not easy to be in, especially in society that's so busy and noisy. Yeah, I agree. I wrote a letter to my higher self not to come back here. Don't fall for the pictures in the earth brochure again. Oh my God. I know. Yeah. I was getting ready for bed one day and Lake Manitoba, Canada, 2 bodies popped in my head. And a few days later, there was a double M on the day I thought of it. Oh, yeah, you get some pretty serious stuff. Ashley, you should journal everything. You should journal everything. And, the date that you had the dream, what you got, the symbolisms, and then when you see it on the news, write those dates down and just keep a big journal. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I don't know why we end up. Oh, this is what I was seriously, Earth, the toughest school ever. Yeah, this is what I was going to say about the planet. I feel there's different levels of like spiritual and energy vibration. I feel Earth is at a very low energy vibration. And it's very low. And I feel like that's why there's dark energy that is here so prevalent, because the dark energy is at that low energy too. So I know some people say Earth is hell. Some days I feel like it is, but I feel like that's why there's so much of the dark that is around and kind of affects things and people and, all of that, because Earth itself is at such a low vibratory energy. So the dark feels comfortable here. That's what I pick up when I focus on that. I agree. Those pictures are so nice of Earth, perhaps too beautiful. Yeah. I keep track of all those dreams and premonitions. Yeah, good. Very good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. we can say we don't want to come back here. Just, I agree with you that persnickety that, because this is just kind of there's a lot of things that are not great on this planet. But on a soul level, there must be a reason why our soul wants to come in and learn things. Now, I do have some belief that sometimes there can be generational, like dark energy that brings or traps people or grabs them in, like on a loop. Like maybe they're trapped in some kind of I don't know if I want to say contract, but I don't know. I mean, listen, I can only go by the energy I pick up, and who knows if I'm right? I don't know. But I pick up that, there's some people that can get trapped in this dark loop and they keep getting dragged back in, dragged back in, dragged back in. So I feel like there's that goes on as well. But then I feel like there's other, most of the time it's just that our soul wants to come here to learn. It's one of the ways we can learn. So, I don't know. My coworker asked if I believe there's a hell, and I said no, and he got mad. Yeah. Yeah, tell him to look around. We're in hell. Yeah, I don't know that I would. Yeah, I don't feel like there's like heaven and hell, like Catholics and whatever claim. It's just different levels of spiritual, whatever, vibrations. You know what I mean? If I planned my life before I was born, what the hell was I thinking? I know. I wonder the same dang thing. See, but I don't think I do feel some people are caught in a dark loop. And I also feel that dark has control of a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, look at third world countries that everyone's starving. Now, that could be a collective group agreement that they're going to, but see, I can't imagine that somebody, I don't know. I have I don't know. There's so many things that could be going on. And I can't imagine that like little children that are abused, you know what I'm saying? Why would they sign up for that? I think that's dark energy. So I think that there's some that we choose, but I also think dark energy is a big player and a big cause of a lot of, what's going on. Yeah. Who let me plan this life? Who's in charge? I know. You have to have a stern talking with yourself. I do all the time. Maybe Earth's harsh environment helps the soul or spirit grow. Maybe. Yeah. I'm just so tired of the suffering and terrible things that go on. It really hurt my relationship with God for a long time. I know. Think of it this way, though. And again, who knows if I'm right? I'm not claiming that I'm, right about everything. But what if God helped create us, but it's up to us how we navigate? And he is not, interjecting because that's not really his job. What if it's men who said that it's his job to save us when really it's what we pre-planned before we got here, or it's dark energy? I mean, it's food for thought. I don't know. Who knows, right? None of us were around back in those days. What's with all the worldly fires? Yeah, we asked about that actually a few weeks ago. There's definitely some dark energy. I don't think you have said energy clearing yet today. You're right. Oh my God. You're right. Holy cow. Did anyone place any bets on if I was going to say or not going to say energy clearing? Because you would have won. Wow, I've never said that. That's crazy. But they are worse now. That's what I've decided too, Kathy. I'm on that line of thought nowadays. Yeah. Me, you owe me a dinner. What do you think of the simulation theory that we are in a video game and we are avatars? I have kind of heard something like that. It reminds me of like The Matrix, right? Did you guys see that movie, The Matrix, where, it's not real, that we're either in a video game, or The Matrix was like we're in some kind of alternate dream world or something? Yeah, I was going to say during the 8 passengers convo, wish my avatar could eat more carbs. Me too. I need to eat less carbs because I need to lose weight. That's what I wish. Men and their words have a lot to answer for some at least. Let's do a clearing. My character is running in circles and laughing. Yeah, let's ask about the simulation theory. I mean, if you think about, we are spiritual beings walking around in meat suits on a planned journey, like The Sims. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. So, I mean, yeah. Do I feel like we're in a video game and we're avatars? I don't know. I don't know if I feel that. I'm going to ask. Let's see. I'm going to ask if humans are either in a simulation or like something like the Matrix or an alternate reality or something like that. I'm going to ask that. I don't know that I feel that, but I'm going to ask. And then I'm probably going to go. Boy, we covered some really across the board topics today. Yeah, meat suits. I doubt it. I hate playing video games. Wait till we get to the Halloween episode. I hate video games. My chapter would be dead already if I was playing a video game. Me too. Yeah, I suck at video games. Okay, so all right. When I ask if we're in some kind of alternate, reality or, video game or Matrix or whatever, I'm getting yes, but it's not exactly what you think. It's not like like a video game or the Matrix or like we're in a dream world. I don't feel like it's like that. I feel like it's the dark. Here I go with the dark. I feel like the dark tries to come in and take over a lot of what's going on, and tries to, obviously do the negative, right? And the bad stuff. So, I do feel there's a spiritual war going on. I felt that for a while. So in a sense that, there are other like darker energies that definitely try to come in and change things. Yes. In that sense, I would say yes. I don't know that I feel though that it's like, you know, like I'm Laura Croft from what's the name? Laura Croft from oh my God. Or like from The Evil Dead, or although I did have a dream a couple weeks ago that like zombies were eating me. Not just me, but everybody. It was a weird dream. I'm that sim that got stuck in the pool because you just removed the ladder and just keep swimming in circles. uh, it's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. I want my sim to be able to, or whatever, my avatar to just stop eating so I could lose weight. That's what I want. I know someone who's so negative. I swear she has a rain cloud over her head. Energy healing. Energy healing. I get to say it. Yes, Ashley. So, Chris, I would, I don't know if she believes in spiritual stuff, but she probably needs to do some energy clearing. When you have someone who's constantly depressed, or, just thinks the whole just life is just all negative, and they're, everything happens to them is bad, or nothing goes right. They've got dark that's affecting them, and kind of, you know, I did get to say it. She needs to do some energy clearing. Woo woo. But it's true. I mean, have her, if you think that she'd be open to it, maybe have her watch, my video that I did like a year and a half or whatever ago on energy clearing, and have her do some of that stuff. Or, have her check out some of my past live streams where I talk about energy clearing and dark energy. And I always put the timestamps in the description, so you could actually pull up a video and click right to that little spot, and maybe if you think she'd be open to it, have her, maybe watch that. I'm that Monopoly piece that always has to back home or to jail. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, see if she'd be open to that. I mean, no one should be constantly feeling like, Debbie Downer, or, there's something going on when that happens. And most people don't know that. Do not pass go, do not collect 200, right to jail. Yeah. Yeah. Especially with this freaking Mercury retrograde that we've been going through. Ugh. Crazy. Frustrating. But yeah, have her do some clearing. I got to say it. I got to say it. All right, guys. Well, I think I am going to go. It's almost 8:00 here, p.m. I'm going to try to see if I can get something to eat. So thank you for hanging out with me. I love the topics we talked about today, especially the second half, because we got into some, really cool stuff. And I want you guys to start making your list for the Halloween episode, which is going to be October 27th. So start getting the word out there. Pass the word along and make sure everybody comes and bring your list of stuff to talk about in the Halloween episode. That's going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. It's a little over a month, so that'll be fun. She likes it drama. Thank you. You guys are fun. Yeah, that retrograde killed me this past month. Me too. Enjoy your weekend. You too, David. Go feed that meat suit. Yeah, thanks, Ashley, for putting that meat suit in our head. Now we're all going to be walking around like, ugh, I got this meat suit on. Oh, all right, guys. Bye. I hope you all have a great, great weekend and a week ahead. Mwah. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging with me. Have a great weekend. My meat suit wants brats and corn on the cob. Me too. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Love you. Bye.